guys, I got a question for you. How many of you actually grew up hiding from the law, hiding from cops, hiding from police department, sheriff's department? How many of them? That was my childhood. It wasn't that I was running from the cops. It was back in late 60s, early 70s. We had curfews in Greenwood, Indiana. I grew up in Greenwood, Indiana. I was not born there. I grew up there. 60s and 70s. Most of the 60s. Not all of it, but most of it. We had a curfew that if you wasn't in by a certain time and you was a juvenile, you'd be arrested. You could be arrested and they'll take you down to the police station and call your parents and have them come get you. Well, there was some people that they didn't care if their kids were out past curfew. They didn't care. And I met up with a lot of those people. The thing of it is my brother and my sister had to be home. I wasn't allowed to be home until after my dad basically passed out for the night. So I wasn't allowed to go home when the street lights came on. Oh no. And I'm not, make no mistake, folks, I wouldn't have wanted to be there anyway. I would have rather been out doing what I was doing, to be honest with you. But I wasn't allowed to. And I don't want you to feel sorry for me. But there was a lot of, in my town, in my neighborhood, not a lot, but there was a few of us, say 5, 6, somewhere around that, not a lot, that the other bunch of them, their parents didn't care if they were out later or not. It didn't matter. And we bought weed from those same parents that didn't care. That's a fact. But I wasn't allowed to go home, so I would know who these guys were going to be that were out late at night, and I'd go hang with them. Well, we did things that got cops brought around. We learned how to hide from the cops or outrun them. That was like a training I was going through when I was a kid, folks. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about the rest of you who grew up where I did, but that was what was going on in Northern Park after the street lights came on when I lived there. I ain't gonna lie to you. All kinds of stuff was going on. It was lively. And a lot of times we had to run away because we were juveniles. If the cops showed up, we ran. Well, we all knew, run in a different direction. Don't stay together, stupid. Run away from each other. That means they're going to have more than one cop to catch any if they even caught anybody. And we did those things. And we knew the yards and the places and shortcuts. We knew this neighborhood like the back of our hand. I even knew what trees I could climb all the way to the top of and what trees I couldn't. And I even hid from cops, sheriffs. I mean, they had the whole neighborhood. The whole neighborhood surrounded. There was cop cars, sheriff cars, everybody was out. They didn't have, we didn't have a helicopter in Greenwood, Indiana back then, or F-16s or anything like that, but they were everywhere. I was up about 65, 70 feet in a tree, swaying back and forth. It was at night, wind blowing, and I'm up here like this, and I seeing all the cops. Kind of trying to keep from laughing out loud. Reason they was called on me, there was a party going on. My brother was there. And when I showed up, it caused a fight between me and my brother. We couldn't go anywhere. Family reunion. We was in a fight. We fought everywhere we went. But he had a bunch of friends that was at that party that they were all going to jump on me. This party was happening in a big old barn, garage, or whatever you want to call them. Big one. They even had their band set up out there. I looked around, found a pitchfork. I got 4 or 5 guys, including my brother, coming at me, gonna beat my, trying to. I'd done been whooping a couple of them, but now I got a bunch of them coming at me. I grab a pitchfork, and I got them backed up. My brother too. I got them all backed up. When the guy, his mother, came to the garage door, seen me with a pitchfork, having all these guys backed up, she called the cops, Greenwood cops. This is all public record, folks. When I was a kid, it's public record. It's on my record. I took off. Now, or she actually opened the door, said, I just called the cops. What? Watachi. Nah, she called me Brian. She knew who I was. She goes, I've already called the cops. They're on their way. You better get out of here. I looked around, threw the pitchfork on the floor, and I took off. Climbed a tree. Like I said, 60, 70 foot in the tree. I'm hiding from the cops up here blowing in the top of this tree. They couldn't find me nowhere. Been all through my mom and dad's house, our backyard, our sheds, everything, looking for me. When the last one left, I didn't tell you I was drunk. I'm climbing down, and I get about 20 feet off the ground, and I slip, and basically on the way down, my leg got trapped and bent in a position that it shouldn't have been bent in as I was falling to the ground. Dislocated my knee. Now I'm dragging myself into my mom and dad's house where I live, and they are like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Like I fell out of the tree. Folks, that's a fact. That was when I was a kid. Oh, let me tell you what happened after that. God loves you. I love you. And I wouldn't tell you this if I didn't. Seek Jesus. I didn't find him until I was 55. I was lucky to still be alive. 55 and still alive. That's when I found Jesus. Love you guys. Seek him.